Preparation safe from the war is coming. Stuck in the ocean, and I can't let myself go sink into the ground. I've lost all emotion for everyone that swore they'd never let me drown. From the ocean, break from the waves that collide. There's no one to save me. Break from the pain inside. There's no getting from the ocean. I am a slave to this fucking pain. I just wanna run away from everything that keeps me feeling so astray. I'm falling, I'm crawling on my knees to you. Well, maybe you'll understand me more when I'm gone. I'm so to the bone, sinking deeper in the ocean. My heart is stone, growing weaker. Now it's broken.
All right. What's up, everyone? It is Wednesday. Welcome to Headbangers Ball. Okay, sorry, I'm going to quit using that joke. Welcome to Banger Wednesday. Here we go. We got a full house, and it's the first night on YouTube. We abandoned Twitch for now, anyway. So hopefully some of you guys from Twitch made it over to YouTube. If you did, thanks for joining. If you're new, thanks for joining as well. We have 4 bands tonight, which is one more than we usually do. I figured it was a good occasion coming on the YouTube to get an extra band on the lineup. I'll get more to that in a second, but let me get to the playlist that we were just listening to. That was the Banger Wednesday playlist. Every track on that playlist is was a band that's been on the show before, and every time we do the intro portion of the show and I'm listening to all these tracks, it still amazes me the quality of music we've been able to get on this show. Like real quick, the very last song we listened to, that was Oceans in Silhouette. The guitar player Ben's a real good friend of the show now. He's currently on tour with Halocene. Before that was Sunmancer. They did a brief little tour with August Burns Red, and the first band was From the Tides. I can't say that they've been on tour with a national yet, but they're doing really good things and they have a great sound. But again, it still blows my mind that these aren't like nationally labeled bands that, you know, are out there doing all kinds of crazy stuff. But here we are, Bang Wednesday Spotify playlist. As Bo said, we're going to talk about that all night, because that has become an amazing tool for all the bands. It's a great way to network, and it helps fight the Spotify algorithm. So if you have time, please go find it, save it, listen to it. It's got hours of tracks on it, and it's all music you're not going to hear anywhere else. You can go find all the other regular playlists and hear the usual suspects, but you're not going to hear the bands on this playlist. So make sure you get it. All right, I'm starting to talk too much. Let's get into the intros. Up there, the guy with the glasses, the red hair, the beard, that is Bo from the band Elijah. Also joining me tonight on the co-host panel, we got Miss Scarlett from Lunarscape and World Shaper. Joining us in just a little while, he's running a little behind, that will be Dom from the band Set Alive. And I'm Forge from Forge by Titans, man behind that mask up there. All right, so I'm not going to talk anymore. We're going to go straight into it. The first band we got tonight, we got Brendan from Psychotic. Brendan's been here before. So Brendan, why don't you just, do the thing. Tell us what we're in for.
Man, it's been a long time, but I'm ready. So I'm Brendan. I'm Psychotic. It's a one-man band, and this song is basically about modern relationships. And yeah.
Hell yeah. I like how that rolled off. He literally called himself Psychotic, and it just works. All right, so I got Brendan already added to the Banger Wednesday Spotify playlist. We're about to check that track out from there. So make sure you got your ears on, and we are going to check out this track. It is called Empty. Here we go.
Yeah.
Brendan, let's get you back up in here. Let me get this back. Let me get Brendan nice and big on the screen so we can see him. All right. Bo, I think you'd be a great person to lead off this part with.
All right, man. So, fun story, because Forge likes the fun stories on this show.
Mhm.
Is the very first episode, the second episode of the show was us and Dom, I believe, right?
Yep, you, Dom, and Brendan, and I want to say maybe it was Oceans and Silhouette too.
Yeah. So, he's been on a ton. I love when we get more stuff from him. That might be my favorite thing that you've done. That's pretty a lot different from what you've done in the past. I love the change ups, man. Like it just hits hard. So bravo for kind of like getting out there a little bit more, going out there a little bit further with what you were doing before. We gotta do a thing. We've been playing a fun game lately. We need to guess. Like Forge likes to try to guess the guitar tuning that you're in. So what's how many string? I think you've been using like 8-string maybe for a while. How many
This is gonna
strings?
blow your mind.
Let me guess. It's like it's definitely lower than drop E for sure. I don't know.
I kind of just give you a hint.
No, just go ahead. Tell me.
All right, it's a 6-string. Have you ever heard of Loathe? Who's ever heard of Loathe?
Yeah.
Mhm,
Yeah.
mhm.
Okay, they made the tuning famous. It's C sharp, A, E, A, D, F sharp. So it's like drop A on the 5th string down, basically. And then on the low string, it's like it's a half a step lower than drop D. So like the 4th fret of the 5th string is the octave.
Mhm.
Like, I don't know if you can hear it, like,
No, I can't hear, but yeah, I'm
okay.
familiar with that tuning though.
How thick is that string?
Yeah.
It's a 95. But they actually, yeah.
Is it?
They actually go even lower or like thicker. It's a 105 that Loathe goes to. Go ahead.
Is it? Do you have it transposed down further, or is that's the straight tuning?
It's the straight tuning.
Oh, okay. Okay.
That's awesome, man. That's wild. Yeah, that's awesome. That's a fun change up for you too. What can I ask? What kind of like plugin you're using for that orchestra? Because I know you're doing this all on your own, right?
Well, I'm having it mixed by somebody else, but at the same time, I think it was Arcade. I'd have to go in and look in Reaper. I don't want to crash my stuff right now, or it wouldn't crash, but I just don't want to overload the.
Mhm.
I can, yeah.
Okay. What are you? We always gotta ask. What are you using for your guitar?
It's the same thing because my favorite band is that Loathe band, and they made this one popular. I'm sure other people did too, but it's a Squire, the Vintage Jazz Master modified, the baritone. It's
Yeah, I'm
the
about to say it's a
30
baritone.
inch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's only 21 frets, but I don't know. It sounds so thick, and I just
Yeah.
converted to in that recording I don't have, but in newer recordings I'm going to. I made a coil split, so now it's gonna be. I'm really excited to do that because that's a humbucker, and then like Loathe uses the coil split, and I'm trying to sound like them with a handful of, well, actually not a handful. I could list like 10 to 15 other bands that I want to like sound like too.
What kind of plugin are you using for it?
For the guitar, it is the Gojira.
We got it. Show's over. We're
Yeah.
done. No, no. That's awesome. That's our favorite one on here. So we got to ask it. We got to try to get one per show. That's the rule. No, I love it, man. You're getting your sound's getting better and better. Your music's just every time you're on here with the new song, it's better than the last one. This one seemed like fairly short and sweet, and it was definitely like, a lot different from before, but it's just a vibe. It's so good. Sounds amazing. I did want to say I'm not usually like the guy that talks about vocals a whole lot. I did notice like your vocals popping out a lot. Like it sounded like a lot gnarlier, a lot more raw for your scream than I think I've recognized in the past. And that for some reason just really stood out. Everything was pretty cool for the whole song composition, everything, but the vocals I really noticed a big change for what I feel like you usually kind of do. Um, and then we got to kind of get into, we got to try to treat every episode like it's a new episode, right? So let's talk about you and your hearing issues.
For sure. So, can I also add one thing about the vocals really quick?
Yep.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Okay, so I put like 5 months of vocal lessons in, and it was totally worth it because
Yeah.
before I was doing like whisper screaming and cupping the
Yeah,
mic and putting the gain like at least to like 50 to 75%, something ridiculous. And now I do just like actual fries and false chords, and like I worry about pissing off my neighbors.
Yeah, no, it stood out. It stood out from what I've heard. Obviously, like the hosts here love our playlist, and we probably listen to it a lot more than anybody else. But like, it stood out to me just hearing that difference in your vocals.
Thank you.
So that's awesome. It was definitely worth whatever you had to do for it, dude. That's great.
Going on to the deaf thing, I am half deaf. I wear hearing aids, and for me, that didn't happen until I was about 21. So I'm about to be 28. So it's just like crushing for me, like a midlife crisis, basically. And so I wrote deaf to kind of just get those feelings out. So if you ever want, like, you go listen to like another like ballad of mine that goes from kind of soft to heavy to soft to just like a real big heavy, and that's the song to go to. That's one of the first ones that I did with them, and probably one of my favorites too. Just like because I lost the mid range, and being a guitarist, that's where we all know that's where the guitars sit. So it was crushing to me because like I listen to metal. I know a good majority, or not majority, but I imagine a lot of you in here listen to metal. So like that's usually pretty guitar oriented. So it was just horrible.
For
Yeah.
sure.
I try to be. Sorry, go ahead.
No,
Just
we're
keep
just
talking.
agreeing with you, man.
I try to think of it as like Tony Iommi, for example. It's been a while since I've listened to Sabbath, but like he cut off his fingers, and that changed his whole sound. And now he wears like the thimbles on his fingers, and he went down thinner strings and the drop tuning, and it's just like, so I don't know, maybe it was for the better, but I guess just trying to help myself feel better about it and others. Oh yeah, Beethoven for sure. Yeah, I definitely, that was one thing that made me feel better about. I actually, because like it was one of my worst fears realized, man. Like I remember when I was a kid, I'd have the ringing in my ears, and I was thinking like, oh man, I'm gonna go deaf, and then one day it just like happened to. So part of it was exposure, but at the same time, part of it was genetics. Like both my parents have it. That's the other scary thing about it, is it's on both sides of my family tree. So like, who knows how bad it's gonna get. But I saw a thing on America's Got Talent where the woman actually felt like the vibrations through her feet and was still able to play, which was just mind blowing to me. So like things like that just really have helped me feel better about it. And yeah, I think that's really all I gotta say on the subject.
Love it, man. Love it. Well, I mean, it's pushed you to make some really awesome stuff, and you've been on here a lot, and we appreciate you coming back. And I'm going to
Thanks for
turn
having
it
me.
over to other people to ask questions, but I'm glad to see you back, and you just keep on knocking them out, man. Keep it going. I love it.
Oh yeah. How about you, Scarlett? What you got?
Well, dude, I mean, I'm very like surprised at the music that you just made and what I just heard now, especially considering that you're partially deaf, and that's such a huge thing to overcome and persevere in the way that you have. And you know, I've never heard your music before. This is the first time I've ever heard anything by you, and I definitely want to go back and check out more of your music. So I'm really excited for that. I will say, I agree with Bo. When I heard that first drop in your track, I got punched in the throat a little bit, and it fucking rocked, dude. Whatever you did with that, it was just the right thing, you know, because you went with the most, like, it was almost like a creepy, kind of like ethereal sounding thing in a way, and then all of a sudden that drop hits, and it's just like, okay, if you didn't have my attention, you have it now. So I really love your approach with that. I think it was fantastic. As far as like your genre or your subgenre of metal, do you have like a way that you would classify yourself, or what would you say you are?
Modern metalcore.
Modern metalcore. Cool. All right, because I was like, you know, this is so interesting. I don't think I've heard a ton of music like this yet, which I really like. I listen to tons and tons of genres within metal, and that sounded super unique to me. And so I think you're onto something really good there with that.
Thank you.
And as far as the mixing and the mastering, I think that you had said you outsource that stuff, right? You have somebody do that for you?
Yeah, I try to do it, and it's just I don't do it that well.
Hey, that's fair, you know, and sometimes too, I think with us, like when we hear our tracks so many times over and over, we just get to the point where we're like, I can't even tell if this is good anymore. I'm just sick of hearing my own voice. I'm sick of hearing my own stuff. Like, give it to somebody else, you know? So I think that's fair. But with that being said as well, so you record all your own stuff though, right? I know you had said something about Reaper as your DAW,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. I have a Shure SM7B right here on like
Nice.
a mic. Yeah, just like a mounted mic stand on my desk. Just like look what all Bo has and Forge has. And then I have some monitors. I have a ton of software. Like I have all the software to do it. It's just I don't have the skills to do it. That's the issue.
Fair. Yeah, and it sounds like you have some really good equipment there, and you know, like that's kind of what I do for my music as well. Like I record all of it in Reaper too, actually, and then you know send the stems to get mixed and mastered. So I'm right there with you. I think it's a great approach, and yeah, I think you know, and mixing and mastering too, it is an art. It takes a really long time. I feel like a lot of practice before you actually get the sound that you're hoping for out of the mix and everything. So that's totally no sweat that you send it out, and that's cool. As far as your scream, so I love the distinct characteristics in your scream, and like to what Bo was saying, I feel like it is super emotional. You have a very emotional scream. And so whatever vocal lessons you took with somebody, or you said you did some kind of vocal training with them, I feel like that really paid off for you, because it's hard to get that different kind of scream happening, the fries, and then you had some of the lower ones in there that were almost like borderline guttural screams or something of that nature. But I really felt like the contrast between the two helped it feel really emotional to me. So I really wanted to give you a compliment on that, because I think that was really awesome. And do you think you're going to continue to do vocal lessons with this person? And where did you find this person? Would you give out the secret of who this mystery screamer is?
Yeah, I can do that. It's really easy to like remember his name. It's Wolf Carr.
Okay, Wolf Carr. What a badass name. Wow, my name sucks.
And so, yeah, it was 100% worth it. But yeah, thank you so much. That really hits home, because it was just like I tried so hard to be able to do all that stuff. I haven't been doing lessons for a while. I honestly don't really practice vocals that much. It's just because I'm like afraid of pissing off my neighbors and everything. And then because I can get that loud with it. Maybe if I it's like a 7 out of 10 on the scale, I'd say. If I maybe do like a 5 out of 10, it'd be a little bit better. It's just because like I have people living above and below me, and I think the only positive to like my mom being deaf is because she's like my roommate. Is that I don't have to worry about pissing her off. Is because she's half deaf.
That works.
Fair. I think, I always say too, like, I feel like a good place. I don't know if you have a car, like most people do these days, but if you go in your car and you just like go into like an empty parking lot, like that's where I have a studio now, so I can just do it in my studio, but I used to do it in my car. Like practice in my car. Yeah, because then you don't piss anybody off.
I do that. I get self-conscious at the red lights. I know it sounds ridiculous, but I do.
That's fair. That's fair. Yeah. I feel like there's always a risk too that people are just gonna see you screaming in your car and think you're a fucking psycho, but whatever. They already think that, right?
Well, yeah, because I mean that's the name.
Yeah, exactly. Um, but yeah, so um as far as like your writing process with it, because you do everything, right? You do the guitars, you do everything. So as far as your writing process, do you usually like to start with lyrics? Do you like to start with riffs? Do you like to start with, I don't know, like padding of some sort? How is kind of like your process? What do you like to start with?
So for this song in particular, it's gonna sound, I guess, bad, but at the same time, I'm okay with it. I wanted to sound like Loathe, so I listened to. It was one of the songs off of "I Let It In," and I just figured out the first chord and then off the pad, and then made my own. I was just like, okay, like what's a riff that sounds like theirs, but it's
Mhm.
mine. So I would like do this. Like, no, it still sounds like Brendan too much. So I'd change it. The drums actually I did get from the band because he released his own like MIDI pack, but I only used it for that one song. So like other times I may have my producers do it, but I'll just like give them an idea. Like I'll program it out myself, but it won't be the greatest or I'll be off a little bit. But then they at least have an idea of what I want. Like I just put out
Yeah.
a song called "Drown," and that one features a lot of like blast beats and stuff like that, which I never really programmed in my music before. So that's like an entirely different approach.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, because a lot of it is like the halftime, but I'll start with guitar and then I try to program bass. But I actually like there's two versions of this song. It's Empty and then Empty Redux. Excuse me. And the Empty Redux is a lot better because it's real bass instead of program bass. So if that was
Okay.
going to be a question by anybody, I just kind of ruined that for you. Or like if you were, um,
I think that's cool. So you actually have two versions of this song that we just heard, is what you're saying?
yeah, but the only
Okay.
difference really is just if it's the program bass or the real bass, and then the mix in the master. I had them do like there's a song called it's like Mass Rapido by Via Nova, and it's with the same guitar that Loath made famous. It just sounds ridiculous. And it features some like lighter parts too, so that's what I had them throw into like the Ozone mastering or whatever it is.
Yeah.
So yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah, I think, and also I think that kudos to your producer because with those drops and how heavy they were, I didn't hear like a ton of redlining or like super, super just like static, kind of like annoyingness. Like I think that they executed those drops pretty well for you, at least for what I could hear in my over ear monitors. So yeah, I think that's awesome, and I think that you executed that nicely, and they did as well. Um, but yeah, I think the track is great, dude. I'm definitely gonna go check out more of your stuff now. And awesome to you for kind of persevering through everything that you go through with your hearing loss and everything, and you've got a new fan, so fuck yeah. I think that's all that I have for me right now. But yeah, I'm into it.
Oh
Thank
yeah.
you.
All right, my turn. Down to business. All right. So, Brendan, is this part of a new album you coming out with, or something you had dropped on a previous album, or just a random single? What's up with this track?
So it is basically my second like EP, if you will, it's off of my second EP. I am switching producers. So the newest song that I have is with a new producer, but the Empty and a couple other songs are with the old producer. And actually, like all my old material, basically, minus one song, is with the old producer. And the features all the new screaming, and everything. It was just, yeah. Sorry, I'm losing my train of thought.
All good, man. All good. But yeah, so you said this is off of your second EP. Do you have any more tracks coming down the pipe right now?
I just released Drown, which is with the new producer. That one I'm really happy about just because like the intro, I set aside to do something like just really that would stand out, and I feel like I accomplished that. So I'm just excited about that. It's probably one of my best like stream songs, or most stream songs, I'd say. I don't really get a ton of listeners. So like any listeners that I do get, I'm very thankful for. Like there's one dude in Germany or whoever it is just streams like it like 10 times a day. It just blows my mind because I'm like, damn, bro, like I get tired of my music after a while. I'm surprised you could listen to that 10 times a day.
Yeah, he's got you on repeat.
Pretty much, yeah.
Oh yeah.
I'm working on a couple other songs, but just like this will kind of answer a little bit more of Scarlett's question. I'm working on the guitar. I'm about to start with the drums, but that's maybe where I might want to improve is getting like some lessons on what drummers actually do because I can't really play, and at least knowing what they do would help me program. I feel like instead of just sitting there like, okay, what do I do? Like I know, like the snare is. If it's on the third beat, it is halftime. If it's on 2 and 4, it's full time. And then if you want double time, you put on every beat. So like I know that, and like then like the cymbals usually accent each beat, and like the kick will sometimes follow like the guitars and bass and everything. But at the same time, like I don't know anything more than that. I would feel like it would really help me expand my ideas.
Yeah, agreed. I mean, look at what getting the vocal lessons has done to your tracks alone. So yeah, if you get some more education on the drums, you're definitely going to benefit from it tremendously. Hopefully, So let me ask you this: merch. You got merch available? If so, where can people check it out?
I have enough demand for that. I mean, if people want to do that, I can. I had one website, but it's kind of sketchy. That's actually where I got the hat. Unfortunately, I tried to fix it to where it wouldn't be mirrored, but if that's psychotic, it just yeah. And then I do have some like T-shirts and everything too, but it just message me if you wanted some merch. Message me and I can make it for you.
Oh yeah. All right. And so since you are a solo band, you got any plans to maybe gig or anything, or get a band to back you up, or solo it? What's you got any ideas there?
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to do. It was a little too much to explain beforehand, so that's why I'm waiting till now to explain it. I do have a drummer in mind to potentially work with, and he's been learning some of the songs, like particularly that song "Drown," just because it's a little bit more streamlined with the drums. It's not all like not a lot of patterns to remember, I guess. So it's easier to like learn quickly. So we're starting with that one, and then I had a bassist and another drummer, but that didn't really work out. And then I had another drummer try out with me with the bassist that I was working with, and he was just like a complete waste of time. Like took like 40 minutes just to set up and didn't even have like the tracks like down at all. And I had one other guy who was a pilot, and that was the main reason why he couldn't do it. So yeah, if I'm in Lakemore, Illinois, if anyone knows any like a bassist or a guitarist that would want to be part of the band, or even maybe a vocalist that because like I can't do screaming and playing at the same time, so I'm probably going to get somebody else to do vocals for me. Like I have one vocalist in mind, but he's a little bit more deathcore, and I don't know if that would necessarily fit. But aside from that, I'm willing, yeah, trying to find another vocalist. Maybe I would probably just no. This is my plan. I'm going to backtrack the bass or the guitar, and then just have the other one play with me. So I wanted to do like a 4-piece because that would be like the easiest way to put this band together. So if I have like I'll do the guitar and handle the leads, but if I don't have a bassist, I'll have a second guitarist with me and just backtrack the bass. Or if I don't have a second guitarist, I'll just have a bassist and backtrack all the stuff that I don't want to play.
Gotcha. All right. Well, I mean, sounds like you're going to be busy for a while. I mean, working on new tracks, trying to get a band together and whatnot. As always, if you guys liked Brendan's track tonight, be sure to go find the Banger Wednesday Spotify playlist. He's got a couple other tracks on there from previous episodes, so make sure you go add it, listen to his other tracks. And if you want, go ahead, click on his band and go save his band page as well. Anything else you want to throw in, Brendan, before I move on to the next band?
No, I just said like I said before, any and all listeners are appreciated. I only get like maybe like 25 listeners or something like that. So I appreciate everybody.
Oh yeah. Yeah, so again, we're going to talk about the playlist all night, man. The playlist has done some really awesome things for a lot of bands. We keep in touch with pretty much every band, and just being on that playlist tends to help fight the algorithm, get new listeners from other bands and other places, because, again, thankfully, we've been fortunate enough to get bands internationally on the playlist and on the show, so it's a great place to be whenever you're trying to just get heard, so make sure you go find it, add it. All right, so that was Brendan from Psychotic. An OG from the show, and thanks for taking time, Brendan, to talk to us. But now we are going to move on to our new friend Hayden from Ghidorah, and the question still stands: who will win, the 100 Gorillas or Ghidorah? In chat,
I guess that remains to be seen.
Yeah, right. Someone's gonna have to simulate.
We'll set it up one of these days.
Yeah, for sure. All right, so Hayden, tell us a little bit about the band and the track we're about to get into, and I'll get it queued up.
Yeah, I am Hayden from Ghidorah. We're a metal band from Michigan. You're about to hear Tomb of the Pharaoh, fresh off the press. Just came out on Monday, and it's Wednesday. That's why this show is called Banger Wednesdays.
Yeah.
2 days ago.
Yeah.
Get ready for it. Buckle up.
Yeah, that'd have been really dumb of me to put it on like a Friday, huh? After I named it, Wednesday. All right, bear with me, guys. I got to get my live stream sharing back up because for some reason it dropped in Discord, and that's not good. So bear with me. Damn, I'll tell you what, Bo. This is gonna sound weird, but do you happen to have Spotify up? Actually, you know what? Never mind. Let me fix my own problem myself, without depending on others. Bear with me, guys. I apologize. I knew something was gonna go wrong first night on YouTube. It was just a matter of what and when. All right.
It's all good. Do we need to stall?
No, we're good. I'm pretty good at, stalling the whole show on my own, as we can see. So, yeah. There we go. Fixed. Look at that. I'm a genius. All right. So, again, I'm going to say it all night. I do have Ghidorah already on the Banger Wednesday Spotify playlist. That's where we're about to check it out from. So go ahead, get your ears ready. We're going to check out Tomb of the Pharaoh. Here we go.
Beneath the dome, I am mounted, the Pharaoh's stone, and I will glory there. Gold in the dark, gleaming and sacred, I reach the seal, fortune calls me.
air, deep flame, wolf stare, foul play, tunnels twist, no way back, serpent's heads, eyes go black, scorpions crawl on my skin, shadows speak from within. How long will I survive in the tomb of the pharaoh? In the tomb of the pharaoh. Winding gate has grown and tried. Footsteps echo on all our mind. Torches fade, breath was hollow, drowned in gold, the wretched pharaoh. How long will I survive in the tomb of the pharaoh? In the tomb of the pharaoh. the dunes. I have waited 10,000 moons. Just for not dying, I watch you fall. The sacred fire. Now feel the weight of cursed desire.
All right. You definitely got me on that last 5 seconds. I thought it was wrapped up and then it just kind of popped right back in.
It never ends.
Oh, God. Anybody old enough to remember Lamb Chops Play Along?
Oh, yeah.
All right. Cool.
I actually, were you referring to something in the song there? Because I don't remember how that song goes, but I do remember the show.
Yeah, you were talking about how the song that doesn't end. There's a song in.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, at the very end, this is a song that doesn't end. It goes on and on, my friend. But yeah, when you said that line, it made me think of that song instantly.
Yeah. No, I totally get it now.
Yeah. So, Scarlett, lead the way.
Wow. Damn. A 10-minute long song. Never in my life do I think that I've ever thought of trying to tackle a 10-minute long song. So let's just start with the length of this fucking bad boy. What inspired you to be like, I'm gonna write a 10-minute long song?
Well, it's funny
Or
that you
you
say
guys.
that too, because yeah. So there's a long story about this writing of the song, but when you mentioned that you're all gonna play it all at the beginning of this, and I was like, I don't wonder if they know it's 10 minutes, but that's cool. Y'all sat with it, and so that's glad you enjoyed it. But anyway, so this song was the first song I ever wrote, and that was in 2017. So I'm like trying to pull back the memories of what I was doing at that time, and I've got it pretty good, remembering. But I was in another band back then. And I started writing, and there's something, I don't know, I don't know when to stop, I guess, is what happened. So I'm like, I come up with an idea, and then I'm like, okay, well, now I need to build something around that. And then I've got this section, and I'm like, oh, well, what if I do that? And then I got this section, and then it explodes out of nowhere, really. And then I kind of like, what I'll do partway through the writing is like, okay, what vibe is this feeling, and what kind of like narrative or whatever do I want to tell with the lyrics? And I kind of already had this sprawling form of a song, trying to organize bits and pieces. And I was like, well, what if I wrote a story about a grave robber who's trying to like steal the riches from this pharaoh's tomb? And there's that old tale about like the curse of the tomb, or the curse of the pharaoh. So like, he's in there, and he's lost. This thing is a labyrinth, and then he's got like all this gold and jewels and whatever, and then slowly he starts like suffering this pharaoh's curse, where he's hallucinating. He's like seeing terrifying things like snakes and scorpions, and then this zombified pharaoh tormenting him. And so that was kind of the whole thing. So I was like, how do I tell this story, and how do I make the song feel like that is the story? And so that's where you get sort of like the winding thing. You get this slow, mysterious section where he's maybe lost and doesn't know what he's doing, and then there's like the more aggressive sections where it's maybe symbolic of something more terrifying happening in that moment. And yeah, so that's kind of where it all came from. Yeah, so
Yeah, that's awesome. I think like so did you just write that story like yourself? Like what was that inspired by something in particular? Like were you watching the History Channel one night before bed and you were like, "Oh shit, I'm gonna write the whole story and then turn it into a 10-minute long song." Like
Please tell me it was Ancient Aliens.
yeah. I mean, it's just all that like ancient Egyptian mythology stuff, and there's a lot to that, and a lot of inspiration
Oh
is
yeah.
all there. And you know what? I meant to do this, and I was scrambling to get ready. Like I said, I scarfed down a piece of chicken right before I got on here and was working out. But I have a pop-up book that when I was writing this song, I was cleaning out my room at my mom's house way back. And I had this pop-up book from being a kid, and it was a pyramid shape, and it's called The Tombs of the Pharaohs. So I made it singular, and I took the name of that pop-up book and
That's cool.
made it into the title of the song. So I was like, I could make a whole song out of this stuff. That's super cool. So yeah, and then I always like to throw in like the mystical or the cosmic type stuff or some sort of horror story into things. So it's really just like a comic book as a song, and
Yeah.
that's where I get
Well,
inspired.
man, that's cool. Yeah, it's very creative. It's very creative. There's lots of peaks and valleys, and I would expect that because if you're telling a story, I mean, the song definitely had the implication that you were telling a story. Like you nailed that 100%. So
Thank you.
that was really cool. I was like, okay, I could totally see, like a script being written and then like a really cool music video going along with this where you're like telling the story because it's then the way that it sounds like I was already getting like some mental imagery of like things that could be happening even before knowing the story, but the scale that you're playing in is very much of like a Egyptian sounding scale, right? So I was already getting those implications. So do you have any plans to kind of make like any kind of like visuals to go along with this or anything like that? Are you going to take it to that level? Because I mean, 10 minutes is a lot of material to try to do a video.
I know. It's like if we had like, $50,000 to make a 10-minute short film out of it, like sure. But no intention at the moment. But yeah, maybe, I mean, we're also crunched for time in Ghidorah. Like we all have full-time jobs. Paul and Ian have their wives and children and whatever. And, it's like, when would we even be able to do that? And actually, I agreed to do this show because I was like, this is going to put me on a timer to finish this damn thing, and so that's why, it came out 2 days before the show, and I was like working my ass off to get it done. But yeah. So I don't think there's any plans at the moment, but luckily I know this fantastic artist. His name is Pablo, and he's the one that drew that single art that you probably saw. And yeah, he's a phenomenal artist. He's very good at like that comic book style, but he loves drawing horror and fantasy, and so he's kind of my go-to guy if I need something metal.
Really cool. Yeah, I applaud you for working with the timeline and like just squeaking it through and getting it done and doing what you had to do. And I'm glad that like, if anything that comes out of this, that this kind of pushed you to get the last finishing pieces done on it. So that's a really cool story, and I love that piece of it.
I mean, like I said, I'd been dragging, and I was like, I gotta get this thing done. It's been 8 years.
Yeah, hey, it's cool. A lot of really great stuff comes from the resurrection of ideas that we had, several years ago or 10 years ago or however long. And I think that some of the coolest stuff can come out of kind of bringing those ideas back to life at a different place in your life. And I think that, probably for you too, it just never really felt like the right time to finish it. And then, something happens in your life and it pushes you that direction. And I think these kind of things happen for a reason,
Yeah, for sure. And as I said, like I was in that other band and they're like, we don't want to do that. And back then, like I didn't do any vocals, I didn't write guitars, I didn't write drums. So I taught myself how to do all of that. And then I think I was talking to you the other day, I mixed and mastered this thing too.
Yeah.
So, it's just been like accumulation of that knowledge and also the equipment to do it. So,
Oh
yeah,
yeah.
I mean, we're really in a place now where we're pretty self-sufficient and we can actually do that. And I can rely on, Ian for the guitar parts and all that. So it's been a long time coming, like I said, but yeah, definitely happy to get that out there and in a form that I'm content with.
And that's awesome. And I want to say hey to Ian because he's in the chat, so
Yes,
everybody
yes,
can
he is.
say
I think
everybody can
Paul's there
say
too, actually.
awesome. So awesome. Yeah, so that's your two bandmates, right? So
That is, yeah. I
Ian
sent them the
is
link right before
guitar.
this.
Okay,
Yes.
perfect. And Ian's guitar, and then I'm guessing Paul is that your drummer?
Yes, he's
Okay.
our new guy.
Well, awesome. So you guys are just a three-piece, right? And so you
Correct.
have been for the duration of your band. How long have you guys been together?
Really, we were just two people until a few months ago when we met
Oh,
Paul.
well,
Yeah,
congratulations on finding one of the hardest fucking people there is to find for a band.
a
You
drummer,
you
right? They're all in
drummers,
like
you
100
freaking
bands.
drummers. Anyways, but yeah, so
Yeah, no, I know the struggle. Like, yeah,
yeah.
so well, so it was pretty much shortly after um my last band that sort of fizzled out, and I was getting my MBA at the time, and like I was in a real tough semester. I couldn't really focus on that, so I let it fizzle out a little bit and took a step back. And coincidentally, the pandemic started, and so it was kind of like, all right, who knows what's going on with like the music world and whatever. And I had a little bit of frustration with that experience. Like we were playing all these shows in the Detroit area and not really pulling in crowds, and there wasn't like a consistent like creative direction. And like you just heard one of my songs, so I wanted to like do more stuff like that, and these guys were doing more like maybe Breaking Benjamin style stuff. And
Okay.
it just wasn't, yeah, it was clashing,
Yeah.
and so that's why I was like, it's time to move back from this. So it was maybe that spring of 2020. I know the pandemic had just started, and I started messaging Ian. I was like, you know what? Forget all this. Like you and me, because I can trust you in your music taste and your skills. You play guitar, I'll handle the rest. We'll make these songs and then we'll get them out there. And then, yeah, it was that summer that we launched Ghidorah like publicly and came out with our first demo, which was Blood Moon Ritual at the time, just because I had just finished that one in writing. But yeah, so since then, Ian and I have done things since 2020, put out a couple other demos and whatever. And we played a few live shows. We got actually guy Tristan from Forge the Sun and another drummer named Ian, who is currently in a band. Their name escapes me right now, but other Ian's cool too, but they had their other stuff going on. Obviously, they weren't permanent members. So it was one of Ian's friends who introduced us to Paul. She's his coworker, and we were very impressed like the moment we started jamming with him, like just straight out of the box, no rehearsals or anything. We're playing like Metallica and Judas Priest songs and whatever, and it just felt great. And Paul, coming from, like I said, the same background as sort of us, where we all have full-time jobs and other responsibilities and stuff, it fit well. It's not someone that's going to be like chomping at the bit to get the next thing out there. It's like, let's go at the pace that we can because we're all in our 30s and we have other stuff going on. So
Yeah.
it's great to work with these guys though. They definitely have the great attitude about it.
Well, heck yeah. I mean, that's great. That's what it's all about. Is sometimes it's good to take those gambles when you feel like you're kind of limited in your creative freedom because of the projects that you're in. And, even if it feels like a step back sometimes it is definitely the right decision. So good on you for, kind of stepping out and doing your own thing so that you could have that creative freedom and write your 10-minute long song. And that's super cool. And so I applaud that for sure. Do you think
Thank
like do you think doing like 10-minute long songs is going to be a thing that you continue to do, or do you think this is kind of like a one-off for you?
Oh, Scarlett, you don't know me. That's my first 10-minute song. I have other ones
Okay.
ready to go.
Oh,
This
do you
dude,
hear
this,
that,
yeah.
Ian? Do you hear that, Ian? Better be ready, Paul.
this dude doesn't write.
Yeah,
he doesn't
no,
write songs. He writes sagas.
Yeah.
What's so funny too is like I'll send Ian songs. I'll send him like the Guitar Pro file that I write the stuff in, and he'll be like, "What the fuck is this?" You know, like it's going from like 9/8 to 7/8 to 7/4 to 13/16. Like, yeah, good luck, man. It's just how it came
Yeah,
out.
and and I think Bo had made a comment about that too. All the crazy time changes in this, and I noticed that myself too right away, and that's wild because I think about playing that live, and I mean, even if you have a click track in your like, that's just gonna be freaking the Wild West up in there.
Yeah,
Which
so
hey, if you guys are up for the challenge and you have people that are gonna be on this crazy like ride with you, then fucking do it, man. But like, wow, yeah.
Yeah, we've got another pretty long one. It's maybe about 8 minutes. It's called Creature of the Deep, and that one's got a lot of weird time signatures too. It starts in 9/8 and goes into 3/4, and then it does everything. But
Wow.
yeah, I mean, we played that one live, and really the thing, like, I just don't even think about it. I just have to memorize the whole thing front to back, and then I'm like, okay, that's where we're at in the song. And
So
yeah.
you guys don't usually use a click track when you play live?
No, I don't think we ever
Wow.
have actually.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. Awesome. Good for you guys. That is intense. That's intense. But I could just sit here and bullshit and talk for like ever, because that's just the type of person that I am. And Bo's like over here like, she is. But
It's a long ass song. There's a lot of questions about it.
Yeah, yeah, and I could talk forever about music with everybody, but I'm gonna pass it off to Bo or to Forge and let them get some questions in that they might have as well. But I love the track. It took me on a journey in itself, and now that I know the backstory of it, I'm gonna listen to it again and try to follow the journey even more. So, congratulations on getting another track out. It was awesome.
Thank you.
And yeah,
Long overdue.
hey, good for you. You did it.
Okay.
O's turn.
So yeah, the time signatures, man. The change up. That was fun. Honestly, like we don't get enough of that on here probably. I'm like more of a, but like I mean I back in like middle school, high school, college, like played in every kind of like wind ensemble band, anything you can be in. Like I was in it, jazz band, swing band, all kinds of stuff. So like the crazier time signatures, like I've played them all probably, and it's really funny. Like when I write music, I always do some kind of weird groove to it, and then like my other bandmates' assignments are to like make this like a like straightforward for me, because I just don't really,
Yeah.
like I don't write
clean
like
this
that.
up.
Yeah, like make this so that you can play it too.
Right.
So no, I appreciate it. I love it. Like I was like like every couple every like section changed up something. And it kept it fun and interesting and everything.
And that's what I always want, with the music, because like, you could have a 10-minute long song that's just so repetitive, so droning, so dull. And like, if I'm gonna do something that long, I at least want it to be interesting.
Yeah. So
At the end of the day,
I do
what
want to
I think is
know.
the best compliment.
So like what genre do you describe yourself as? Like a proggy death metal kind of thing, or?
Yeah, I would think that that's sort of the fit, especially for these super long ones. It's hard to pin it down exactly because we have other ones that are a little more doomy and ones that are a little more thrashy.
Gotcha.
But what progressive metal band doesn't have a whole wide variety of stuff? So that's
that's the point, right?
Progressive
doing-
death
doing
metal. I
whatever.
think that's pretty good
Yeah.
description.
Definitely, that's kind of how I felt, at least with this track. Now, like the other part of that, like just like along with the time signature stuff like that, just all the sneaky, intricate like riffs and grooves and everything. There's so many little like sneaky key changes all over. There's all kinds of random stuff that like, I feel like it's one of those like you really just like if you saw me like while the song was playing, like I was doing everything I could just to like try to listen to everything going on because you kept on changing so quickly. So I do appreciate a lot of that. That takes a lot of just like planning and everything to try to make that all kind of fit together and work. So kudos to you. That's a lot of work for that.
Thanks. Yeah. I mean, that's sort of the thing too. Is like if it sounds good, even if it's jumping from one key to another, or switching scales and time signatures and stuff, it's like that can sound good in a way if it's done in the way that it can.
It's all about
good.
how you transition it.
Yeah.
like I do like more like early 2000s hardcore metalcore stuff is what I personally do, and it's just like there's no rules. Like how to just make it sound good going from one section to another, and do whatever works, right? So like it's all
Right,
about
yeah.
transitions, and like they're sneaky and smooth. Is how I would describe the stuff that you were doing. So
Well, thank you.
yeah. We gotta play one game though, and I'm guessing here, just because of how it sounded. We're gonna play what tuning was that in game? I think it was in standard.
Yeah, I think it was either standard or drop D.
What you got?
Any other guesses?
I want to say drop D as well.
You're kind of all between. It's in D standard.
D standard. Nice. Okay.
There you go.
Yeah.
Nice. I like it. That's fun, man. And then, so you guys kind of DIY'd this all on your own, right? Like.
Yeah. Like I said, I wrote it years ago. And then we recorded it. Just by ourselves.
Did we do it?
Direct into Logic, and the bass vocals on my end, guitars on Ian's end. We got the Get Good drums that I program over here. So, and then adjusting and mixing everything over in Logic. So
okay,
yeah,
nice. I like that. Everybody's got a little bit of work to do on their own.
Yeah, I mean, keeps the cost down.
Yeah. No. I mean, I think like with the style and everything that you're doing, like you pulled off, what you were trying to do on your own. So, like, there's nothing wrong with doing it that way, and you do it. Like my thing is always just having that little bit of extra satisfaction, like just knowing that you made it sound how you wanted it to sound. So
right, yeah, I was real proud when I finally got this thing figured out. I was messaging Scarlett Sunday morning when I was working out, and I was like, I'm on version 6 of the master. I got it sounding good on my computer and my headphones, but the Bluetooth speaker's a mess now. So it's like phasing issues and like too boomy a bass in one, and I'm like, what the hell? It doesn't sound like that on the other thing. So there's a lot of like trial and error stuff, a lot of like learning with the process. And I've been learning for the last several songs that we've been doing, but I definitely feel like this one it's above and beyond all the others. So it's again accumulation of all this knowledge and equipment.
No, I mean, you're doing your thing, and it's got to be pretty close to like exactly how you want it to be at this point. Like
Yeah. I mean, you could tweak a few things. I'm sure some expert could be like, oh, let's change this and that, and it'll sound like even smoother. But I'm pretty happy with how it came out.
Ultimately, that's what matters. Is you're happy with how it sounds. It's what you wanted to do, and it's like for the size that you're doing, it's a lot easier to do it that way than it is to like spend 2 weeks in the studio trying to get one song done. Like you're doing it on your time, like how you want to get it done, and it's a lot less stress on other than putting yourself on a time crunch to get it done.
There's that part about just like not knowing, like you go from not knowing what to do at all to like kind of knowing, and then you're still trying to get to that spot where you're like, what's wrong with this? I'm doing everything that I should be. And it's just nice to finally get to a point where it's like, that actually sounds like a pretty done song.
There you go. Yeah, no, it's fun, man. It's very different than what we've probably ever had on this show. And we talk
I'm
about
glad
that
to
all
be
the
the different one.
we don't, we joke about that all the time. We don't screen the stuff beforehand, so we could absolutely get rickrolled at any point in time.
I was
but,
wondering
you
if
know,
you guys like had listened to it first after I
Never.
sent it.
We don't.
So
we
that's
don't
awesome.
want to. We want to come into this hearing it for the first time, and give you like honest feedback, and it's a lot more fun to like us get you to open up after we've heard it for the first time. Everybody's hearing it for the first time. So
Well,
that's
now
why
that I know
that's why
that,
we try
that
not-
makes your reactions a little bit more appreciative, I guess.
that's how we've done it. That's how we've done it since day one. And we try, like, even it's really hard, like when some of the other co-hosts like have music coming out and drop it, because I won't listen to it until the show.
Yeah.
Like, unless they're like, hey, you gotta tell me what you think I should do to this part. Like, I'll jump on and check it out, and then I won't think about it, and then like, I'm not gonna hear it. Like,
Right.
I'd rather like actually hear it for the first time when I'm actually like listening and paying attention and not being distracted by anything. So
Yeah, for sure. Well, that's cool.
yeah. But that's what I got. Great to meet you. Thanks for coming on the show. I'm gonna
thanks.
turn it over to Forge.
Yeah, so just to kind of piggyback on some of the things you guys were saying, how we don't screen the tracks beforehand. That's kind of why when we started the show, I made the comment about every time I listen to like the playlist on the intro, I get amazed by the quality of the music we get on the show, because never screened any track from day one when it was just me by myself doing the show. It was always, okay, what kind of pile of shit is going to pop up in this episode, because I'm going to be live and I'm going to have to just deal with it on the fly. Never have I ever been disappointed with any track, and tonight's no different. So it's just been crazy. You just kind of just leave it to chance, and it hasn't bit us yet. So yeah, so all of our reactions are truthful, and it's on the spot. That's kind of why sometimes it takes us a minute to get our point across, because we're trying to find our way. But
Oh, sure.
yeah,
Gotta
but
find the words.
right. So so on this track, whenever I heard the name of the track, I had kind of like a sound in my head. And that sound I heard was some of the like Phrygian scale stuff, and I feel like you touched on a little bit in there, so that was kind of cool.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah. So that was really cool you did that, and definitely a good choice with the tuning, especially for that style and whatnot. I liked that a lot. Your mix and master was clean. You could hear everything that was going on. And I'm sorry, whenever you and Bo were talking, did you guys mention the guitar plugin, or was it an amp? Well, I missed that part.
We didn't mention it, but I laughed earlier because it is the same that Psychotic was using.
Yeah.
The Archetype Gojira, it strikes again.
Yeah. So, real quick backstory why that's funny for us. If you've been listening since season 1, it was season 1, episode 2. Whenever some of these guys were here,
Yeah.
Gojira plugin was mentioned on that show. We went I think it was like maybe 2.5 seasons. Every episode had a band using Gojira, and then finally it struck. We missed an episode. I think it was maybe season 3, maybe. And then the very next episode, someone had it, and so the streak's been going ever since again. So out of all the episodes we've had, I think we may have had one where Gojira wasn't being used by a band.
It's the best. I mean, Neural DSP itself is awesome, but that Gojira plugin is just, there's everything that a metal band needs in there. And then I'm actually also using the Parallax, the Neural DSP Parallax for my bass in that song. And it's typically what I end up using. But yeah, like, I love their products. And I've tried out a few other ones. We have the Mesa Boogie one, and that's awesome too. But yeah, it doesn't quite fit the vibe there. It's a little more for the retro style stuff. But yeah, no, it's such a great plugin.
Oh yeah. All right. So now down to business. Merch. Do you guys have merch available?
We do, and actually, I have the link here. I could drop it into the chat if anyone's
Yeah.
interested.
Go
But
ahead, do that.
right before this, well, I mentioned I was working out right before this, but also while I was working out in between sets, I was working on getting that art that Pablo made for Tomb of the Pharaoh onto a shirt. So that will be coming soon too. But all of our other stuff, like the regular band logo shirts and hoodies and whatever, that'll be there in that link that I just put into the chat on the stream.
Awesome.
But yeah, there's everything on there: shirts and hoodies and
Oh yeah.
other shirts.
So you guys mentioned playing live. You guys got any gigs coming up, and where are they?
Yeah, so funny thing with that, we've got Ian's annual 4th of July backyard jamboree nonsense. There's a croquet tournament and fireworks, and Ghidorah has been playing between those events on that 4th of July party. So it's always like that Saturday surrounding the 4th. So that's what we're gearing up for next. It'll be a little outdoor thing, and it'll be our first one with Paul there, which will be fun. And then after that, there's actually like a Grand Rapids block party that we're gonna do in August. So a little more, open to the public. But yeah, we got to figure out our set and everything for that. Probably just a half an hour rather than our hour-long thing that we've got going.
Well, man, right, you got to shorten them songs on if you want to play more than 3 songs at the gig.
Well, I keep telling Ian we only have to memorize like 2 or 3 songs if we play the 10-minute one.
I guess it goes that way. I guess it can go that way too. But I mean, honestly, I got to backtrack a little bit. He said this is July party or whatever. Is there anything more metal than going play croquet while someone's playing metal in the backyard?
It's so funny because like Ian and I will compete in this tournament, and then like somehow like the last 2 years that I've done it, I've made it into like the final round against like all these like croquet masters, and I'm like drunk off my ass just hitting the ball, and I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing here. And Ian's like setting up the stage and everything, and he's like, hurry up and loose so you can get your stuff ready.
Jeez.
Sorry, I'm really good at croquet if I've had like, I don't know, 4 vodka lemonades.
I feel like both of these nights somebody's getting arrested. Block parties, backyard, metal, croquet, drinking. Yeah, someone's going to jail.
It sounds like somewhere I want to be.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, no, it's fun. You're invited. Come along.
Oh yeah. All right. So I think I handled all the business. Is there anything else you wanted to share with the lovely listeners about Ghidorah?
Well, I'll finally have this album out probably in the fall. It'll have all of our demos on there. Those will get the treatment that this song just got, so a little bit better polish on it. A couple other songs that haven't been heard before. So that is called Death is Infinite, and that will be hopefully out sometime mid-fall.
Hell yeah. So we have Hayden here from Ghidorah. We just listened to their track and did some Q&A. If you guys missed out, this episode will live forever on YouTube, and the track is forever living on the Banger Wednesday Spotify playlist. I'm going to plug it all night. And, we were talking in chat, and a few people were talking about following a few links there and whatnot. But I do want to take a moment, since this is the first night on YouTube, right down there, probably about right over there. No, maybe it's right below. There's a subscribe button on this channel, guys. And we would really appreciate it if you took the moment to click it. It costs you absolutely nothing. But as we get more subscribers, it does open up new tools for us to promote the show, which in turn promotes the bands. So if you can take the moment just to click it and forget about it, honestly, after you click it, that'd help us out a lot. And make sure all these people you see in chat, these bands, the band members, click on them. Go subscribe to their YouTubes as well. And, it's networking, man. That's what started all this, and that's what we're here to do. Listen to cool tracks, and at the same time, network. Easy. All right, so that was Hayden again from Ghidorah. Thanks, Hayden, for hanging out with us. We're going to go ahead and move on to the next band, and let me get them nice and big on the screen. We got Walls of Asgard, and I got Jay, Marcus, Josh, Katie, Tim, and John with us. So, guys, tell us a little bit about the band and the track we're about to check out.
We're Walls of Asgard. We're a blend of different styles Miles. The song is The Journey to the End, and it reflects realism in life as it goes through your life. So,
Hell yeah. All right. So, for those of you at home, let me get this back up on the screen here. Did I lose it again? Oh, do you see the share screen in Discord? Or did it drop again? Don't see it. All right, because I keep breaking it somehow. I'm sorry, guys. The YouTube bugs are being worked out live on the show. Give me 1 second. We're getting that back up. Didn't have these problems on Twitch. Just saying. Bear with me, guys. Apologies.
The audio quality here rocks though. So you guys, for being the first group of people on the YouTube business, you guys got real good audio. So it's worth working through it.
Faux show. Okay, so I do have it back up and running now. All right, everyone at home, put your ears on. We're about to check out blah, blah, blah. My screen went away. Okay, we're about to check out The Journey to the End by Walls of Asgard. Here we go. All right. As always, we let that track play all the way to the end. All right. You know, Bo, I'm gonna pass it off to you in a second, but just to get things started. So I can't remember everyone's name, but right side of the screen with the blah hat. Was that from Orion Reacts? Jay.
Yeah. He
Okay.
sent that shit to me.
Oh yeah, I recognize it. Wanted to throw it out there. All right, Bo, you ready? Let's dig in.
Oh yeah. Really cool. Like build up, and then dropped into the heavy part, and then we calmed down a little bit, and just it's like the layers there were really fun. Like how much of this was like DIY as far as like the recording and stuff? I feel like this is probably like a live track thing.
Actually, I recorded. We live in Colorado, so we get a lot of storms. So I was out traveling around, so I took wind. And in the middle of a thunderstorm in August, I took the thunder that came, everything with it, and then everything was recorded live from natural aspects. And so we culminated that and included it into the song.
Okay. And then like as far as like the rest of the stuff, did you guys like track this on your own? Did you go somewhere to track it, or how do we record all the instruments and stuff?
Everything was done in house. We used Reaper and we mixed and mastered it all in home.
Okay, that's kind of what I thought. Did you guys like live track the guitars like a microphone in front of an amp?
No, so we DI'd the head into our interface and used it directly. Yeah.
Okay. What kind of head were you using for that?
The PV 6505 Plus.
Okay.
And real quick, Bo, let me chime in there. So you went direct from the amp head to DI. Did you guys have an impulse response on that, or would you know?
No.
Okay. I was going to ask which.
No.
Okay.
And we get to play the fun game. Were you guys? I feel like this was like maybe like a drop C kind of song.
I'm gonna say drop D.
Drop D.
Drop D. Okay.
Yeah.
So, talk to me like what's the song about to you guys? Like what's going on here in the actual like lyrics and everything?
So the song initially, Tim and John, they had the initial layout of the song from another previous band, and they just never went into fruition with the instrumentals or anything. And I heard it when I joined the band in August, and I was like, you know what, we could really do something with this. So my background is like was very heavily influenced by Deftones back in the day. So I kind of felt the groove with that, you know what I mean? And so
yeah.
I used my influence from that styling and everything that we do based off of realism. So this song is about childhood tragedy, abuse, domestic violence, and suicide and stuff like that. And there was a huge influence, especially while I was growing up. So the song actually reflects my childhood as a domestic violence and child abuse survivor.
I get it. I mean, it definitely like felt a lot of emotion ringing through everything going on there. I feel that for sure. I was gonna say, it definitely kind of gave me like a kind of the the new wave of new metal coming back kind of vibe is kind of what I kind of felt. I don't know how you guys kind of describe the genre for you or whatnot. What would you say you kind of
new metal core-ish, I guess. I don't know. We're a blend of a lot of different styles. I mean, we had a Brie in there. That's deathcore. You have the long freaking metalcore scream. There's a lot of different elements in it.
Yeah, the clean stuff kind of gave me like a little bit of like the like old '90s alternative rock feel a little bit too. Like I definitely felt a lot of different influences going on, and it was very. Just like I said, a lot of layers, a lot of different, like this like our first band, like just big contrasts going on, and you know, very very like waves coming back and forth throughout the whole song. I liked it. I appreciate it. You guys are you know, doing good. Kind of making your own sound. Definitely sound like as far as like, you know, the guitars and stuff, like definitely kind of stands out quite a bit. So yeah, it was a great track. I like it.
Thank you.
I think what else.
It took us forever to actually get it down and get it moving. Like we
Oh,
didn't
yeah.
really start recording that until I think like 2 months ago. Maybe 2.5 months ago, and then we released it on April 2nd. So we worked on that a long time, and then we've been through some members too, and added some members. So we had different elements to include into that as well. So
Okay. Are you guys a 6-person group here, or we just got somebody hanging out, or? Okay.
no, yeah, we're 6. So we have male and female vocalists. Katie's my female vocalist.
Okay.
She does a lot of the backing, and then one of our songs that's getting ready to come out, she's going to lead on that. It's going to be pretty epic. And then we have Josh. He does samples. So he's going to be like when we do live stuff, he's going to be doing all the live sampling and stuff like that. So
Okay. All right. So you already got that all figured out versus, you know, like having a laptop and backing tracks. I like that.
absolutely.
And then I have to ask, because there's going to be 6 of you, how fun is that coordinating, getting everybody together for like rehearsals and stuff?
It's a motherfucker. It's literally a motherfucker. But we actually work it out pretty good. We've taken the last couple holidays off, so this last weekend and this weekend coming up with Mother's Day, we're taking a little bit. Some of us might get together and hang out, but we practice every Saturday, and then we communicate regularly through a group chat that we have, and we share and experiment with ideas. And Tim and I, we primarily, you know, someone says something, and you know, I'm pretty good at engineering and doing stuff like that, so I'm really good on the fly. I can either engineer on my phone I have an iPhone, so I'll do it through like GarageBand, or I have Soundtrap. I could just easily take samples or make samples out of that really fast. So
I gotcha. Yeah, that's the biggest hurdle for a lot of us right now. It's just even just like a 4 or 5 piece is so difficult to try to get everybody. There's so much stuff that eats up everybody's time at this point. No, that's awesome. You're DIY and hardcore, and that's what we like here. And it's definitely.
I think,
What's that?
well, I think one thing that makes us unique too is we only have the one guitar player and the one bass player. I mean, just one guitar though. So I think that's what really gives us really unique sound.
For sure. I mean, you know, and that's another, you know, kind of thing to get over too, is just how to, you know, where do you want to go like musically to work within, you know, the set that you, or the group that you have and everything. You know, giving everybody their own little place to shine throughout the whole thing. So I mean, that's a whole nother when you get, like you said, you're gonna be playing live at some point. So when you get to that point, like having everybody have their things that they get to shine on and get to do individually while you're playing. That's all, to me, that's always the fun part, is just I like having the other members in my group where I can just like, hey, I'm gonna push you and make you do stuff when we're playing live. Just so you're not just
push each
hanging
other
out.
all the time, for
Yeah.
sure.
So yeah, that's definitely, you know, a fun way to figure out, you know, how we're gonna do this, how we're gonna make everything work out and all that. But yeah, you guys are gonna have fun with that when you start getting out there and everything. It's really impressive that you're able to get together so much and practice. That's got to be difficult. I mean, you know, we're not 18-year-old kids anymore. You know, it's very, very difficult to everybody's got families, everybody got lives, everybody's got jobs and all that. So kudos to you guys for making it work a lot. Yeah.
No, absolutely.
So that's all. I mean, that was a fun song. I mean, it, like I said,
Yeah, I mean,
definitely is a standout for the evening. Especially, we always have that one that's just completely out, like completely different from everything else we've been listening to for a while. I appreciate it, and thank you guys for coming out. I'm going to hand it over. I know Scarlett's probably got some questions, and Forrest got some questions, but thank you for coming by.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Awesome, guys. So I'm going to be completely transparent. I had audio issues and I only caught like the very last chunk of it, and I'm so sorry. So I'm definitely going to revisit you guys and listen to some more of your track for sure. What I do want to ask is, I know you guys said you're from Colorado, right?
Absolutely, yeah.
Awesome. Okay, what part of Colorado are you guys in?
We're located in the Greeley area.
Greeley. Okay, great.
And
So,
And then, yeah. Some of us commute to practice from Lakewood.
oh wow. Okay, so you guys are doing the commuting thing to all come together. Yeah. So, because I know Denver area can be pretty
Yeah.
spread out. Well, I'm actually from the Springs, so I would love to come check you
nice.
guys out sometime. I would love to come see you guys play. So I'll definitely make sure that I stay on the radar with you guys and can come check out a show. So that's really exciting. I love when we get other musicians on here from Colorado. That's always really exciting to me. So
Yeah, there's not a whole lot of us out there that are actually trying to make a real big impact. And the Colorado freaking metal scene is really competitive too. So like when you get yourself out there and you have a different sound or a different tone, it's really hard to navigate through the system. So
yes, it very much is. Yeah. So do you guys like rent your rehearsal space there? Is that like somebody's house, somebody's basement, garage, something like that? Okay,
This guy's basement.
Awesome.
Tim.
Awesome. That makes it so helpful when you have the space, you don't have to rent it out, and that makes everything so nice. Then you can kind of at least cut the cost there. So good on you, Tim, for having 5 other people in your house every Saturday and burning the place down. So that's cool.
Sometimes more. Sometimes more.
Yeah, that's awesome. So how did you guys all kind of come together then? I'm pretty curious to know how you guys all met up. Was it like band mix kind of deal? Was it people knew people? Like what's your story there?
So back in July-ish, I think it was, I started putting out ads of vocalists wanting to start a different style genre music. I think I was calling like instrumental core, or I don't even remember at the time. But I was retired. I did music 15 years ago, whatever, and I stopped because I had a family and kids and stuff like that. So I wanted to do that, made that priority, and I started reaching out, and I was like, you know what, it's time. My kids are old enough and I need to be able to do this again. I want to do that. And Tim had reached back out to me on an ad on Facebook, which was really awesome, and came and met with him one day, and then I met with John, and we decided at that time we were just a 3-piece, a bassist, a guitarist, and a vocalist, and we decided that we were going to be Walls of Asgard, and we started hanging out, we having dinners and practicing every Saturday, and then we later added Marcus as our drummer, and he became really very influential with his style because he's a jazz drummer, so it was definitely an obstacle to kind of overturn from there, because the styling is a little bit different, but he's became very, 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 very well versed in playing metal now. Is really good. And then we added Katie and Josh, who are a couple. They're going to be getting married soon. Congratulations,
Hey,
guys!
congratulations.
What's up?
Congratulations,
But,
guys. That's awesome.
And so
What's the
we
first-
added them.
Sorry,
I
not to
felt
cut
like
you off.
It was
Important question. Sorry. What's the first dance song gonna be? Is it gonna be metal as hell?
Yeah, we're debating on playing some deathcore.
We're definitely gonna have some metal, whether my family likes it or not.
All right, just had to ask.
Dance, I don't know.
The first
Yeah, so-
mosh.
Right.
Maybe Walls of Asgard will play their
Yeah,
or whatever, their wedding.
you're welcome
So,
to steal that first mosh at the wedding.
Really cool. I'm really,
So that's what's up.
yeah, I think that's awesome. Especially since you guys said you met on everybody met on Facebook. Well, not everybody, right? There was probably people that knew they were a couple first.
Tim and I have known each other for 30 something years.
Yep.
Oh
When I
wow.
was back in high school. We've been on and off again, gigging together and stuff. But this project that we have started out as a project, and then it's just grown. We've had other drummers and vocalists come and go, and we just didn't mesh, didn't feel the vibe. But this group of musicians that we have sitting here, this is it. I mean, everybody sitting around here is bringing something really unique to this, and it's really, in the last 6 months, really grown and taken off more than we ever thought it would. So, I mean, we've gotten to the point where we got our first song recorded and released and working on more material. So, for Tim and I, it's really been a huge dream of ours. And so I think the next step is just get more material out there and get out of the basement.
Absolutely, yeah. And you guys, are you guys trying to be on do you guys kind of set goals for yourselves in the way of like, hey, we want to have a release done every 2 months, every 3 months, every however long it is? Like, are you guys getting to that point now that you're a full complete?
Yeah. So,
yeah.
So with what you're saying in regards to that, we were going to announce this tonight. We're going to release our full album, Screams from the Mausoleum, in late June, probably like around the 22nd or the 28th. We have all the material pretty much taken care of, a couple of knickknacks here and there, but we're going to start recording that here in the next week or so.
Awesome. So are you guys going to kind of go with a strategy of like you're going to release it as an album, or are you guys going to kind of stagger things and do like a one a month kind of release thing and build momentum from there? Kind of what's your strategy looking like?
I was thinking about doing a double drop, but I think based off of the feedback that we've gotten so far and the response, and there's actually been a relatively good request for our music that they're releasing the full album all at one time and then just start doing shows in late August after we let the wind settle a little bit or dust settle a little bit and just start blowing up the scene here in Colorado. And then we also have people like, we just gained a sponsor for merch from Rocky Mountain Hardcore. Marty is a freaking really good old school friend of mine, so he's going to hook us up with a gang of merch. And he's going to help us also get out on the road too. So,
oh well, good. That's awesome. Yeah, it's great to have connects like that. And I mean, you guys seem to be hustling if you're already getting ready to put out an album, and so that's really great that you guys are able to kind of, especially with how many of you there are, you guys are able to get that much work done. So there's definitely something to be said with that. So then you're going to wait until the album comes out, and then you're going to just try to start nailing shows, right?
absolutely.
Yeah, awesome, you guys. Well, I would love to come check you guys out, so I'll make sure I stay in the loop, follow you guys on socials and things like that. But yeah, it was really great to meet you guys.
Absolutely.
Like I
More than
said,
welcome to come join us at a practice one time too.
yeah, heck yeah, guys, I love it, and I hope that you guys can keep moving forward with everything. I'm definitely going to check out your tracks after this. It sucks I can't talk more to the actual song itself because I only caught the very tail end of it because technology. But yeah, so awesome. I think that's kind of all that I have for you guys, and I'll pass it off to Forge.
Hell yeah. All right. Well, I mean, between Scarlett, Bo, and you guys kind of hit all the points I was going to go with. So, we talked about, you got merch coming up, you got some gigs coming up, you got some more releases coming up. And so I'll speak to the track some more. Definitely, a different flavor than what we usually get. So that was really nice. And I know we talked about how you guys kind of DIY the mix and master and tuning and all that. So I do want to ask, for gear, guitars, what brands are we using?
ESP and LTD.
Oh yeah.
For bass, I'm either playing a Schecter or a Tobias.
Okay, cool.
And drums is Ludwig drum set, Ascent brand with shit. I don't even know all the symbols that we have. We've got tons of
Got a
stuff.
few of them. We got a few.
And then I know we mentioned Tim's amp. I'm running an Ampeg SVT into two 4x10 SWR cabs.
Nice. And I imagine Vic Firth 5B sticks. No, that was a long
That's
shot.
right. That's right.
That was right. Look at Bo. Look at Bo. I've never seen Bo so happy in his life.
Spot on.
Man, look at that, man.
That's awesome, dude.
Sometimes I have those moments, man. And sometimes I lose it, and then sometimes it just comes back. Yeah.
There you go.
That's the second. Just so you guys know, that's like the second time I've called out a drummer's sticks on the show and been right.
That's fucking awesome, though. Respect on that.
You could hear it.
Oh yeah, I can hear that wood speaking my name. But yeah.
So funny story. Tobias basses. So back in the day, 20 years ago, when I was playing all the time, the bass player that I had for like 5 or 6 years, he had a Tobias bass, and it was such a sick bass at the time. I mean, I don't even know if they make the brand anymore, do they? I think like
baby right here.
a long time ago. Yeah. That's such a wild, like,
This up at the pawn shop for like $250.
that's insane.
Wow.
Anytime I see them on Reverb, they're like well over $1,000.
Yeah, I got a deal on this, and I have probably 7 basses, and I think for metal, this is definitely my go-to.
Yeah.
If I could find a 5-string version of this, I would be
good
very
luck.
happy.
Yeah, that's
I
what
love
he had back
this.
then. but-
I don't know what kind of pickups they are, but
Yeah, that's wild. That's a really cool. That's a really cool find. You need to just hold on to that and keep it.
Yeah, for sure.
No.
All right. So, like I said, that was pretty much all my questions that I had. Is there anything else you guys wanted to share with everyone listening that we may have overlooked?
Just look out for that release. I'm going to keep posting everyone up. Like I said, the end of June. Hoping the 22nd, maybe the 28th, to release the whole album. And just follow us and like us, and just keep posted, because we're constantly doing stuff. And we're going to start streaming everything. We stream all of our practices every Saturday live on TikTok. So, just pay attention, because we're getting ready to make waves, and it's going to be amazing.
Hell yeah. And Jay, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so like Jay was saying, make sure you go, and if you're in chat, just click on the people in chat, go follow them to their pages. Hit subscribe, and I'm talking about everybody, not just Walls of Asgard. Everybody in chat, go follow everyone network. And real quick, just gonna steal a moment right down here, the Banger Wednesday subscribe button. Please go hit that. We're getting so close to getting access to a couple new promotional tools to help all these bands, so please click it. Cost you nothing. So again, we had Jay, Marcus, Josh, Katie, Tim, John with Walls of Asgard. We checked out their track. We got some insight to what's been going on with these guys. They're new to the show, but hopefully they're friends forever now, so they're always welcome back with any new tracks. So if you enjoyed them, make sure you go add the playlist, Spotify playlist. They're there too. You want to check them out again. So again, thank you guys for stopping in and letting us check out the track with you all. And we're going to go ahead and head over to the Young Guns. We got Wyatt, Anthony, Harrison, and George from Coraline's Collapse. So what's up, guys? Tell us what's going on.
So we're Coraline's Collapse. We're a metalcore, post-hardcore band from Florida. The song that's coming up is called Too Far to Jump, Too Deep to Swim off of our new EP, The Fragile Texture of a Spider's Web. Yeah, let's let it play.
Hell yeah. So again, this is going to be me just kind of like killing a few moments because for some reason, when we go into the Q&A, it's like this thing's on a timer and it shuts down my screen share. Okay, so here we go. Got it back up and running. Let me get you guys over to that track we were just talking about. So let's see. And I believe it was Wyatt that was just telling us about it. Again, this is Too Far to Jump, Too Deep to Swim by Coraline's Collapse. Here we go. Hell yeah. Sorry about that. I was about to play the next song again. All right, let me get these guys up on the screen here so we can chit-chat a little bit. We're gonna come to you here in a second, Scarlett. But real quick, guys, great track. I'll save more when it comes back around to me, but definitely great track, guys. Scarlett, lead us off.
Guys, heck yeah, Florida people, what is up? So first off, before I get too deep into this, I need to know what is the role and responsibility of the dude that's sitting in the glasses with the hat on in the band. What does he do?
I wear my sunglasses at night.
Yeah, are you the drummer? What do you do? I must have missed that.
Yeah, I was the drummer.
Textbook.
I fucking called it.
Textbook.
Yeah. Woo. So, all right, anyways. So that's awesome. You guys have a very nostalgic sound, I think, for a lot of us, which is super exciting because I love especially to see younger people such as yourself just so involved into music that you guys can create something so nostalgic for one and keep it alive for a lot of us like older people. Okay, not trying to age myself here, but and you know, and so I think that that's really cool because you guys are definitely captivating in your sound. So tell me a little bit, because when I first heard it, I was like, okay, Under Oath vibes for sure. Like I was getting Under Oath all up in my face. So tell me, who's like your biggest inspiration, guys? What are we inspired by?
Very big inspired by Under Oath for sure. Under Oath, Silverstein, any just early 2000s post-hardcore band we're very inspired by. Some of our older stuff, this one not as much, but still, like, I think if you really listen to it, like, Bullet for My Valentine's a big inspiration for us. Anything metalcore, post-hardcore, early 2000s, that's us.
Awesome. Yeah, I definitely hear those influences coming through, and you guys captured that so nicely. I mean, the everything that I feel like encompasses that genre, like you guys have just nailed on the head. So that's fantastic. And so is it just the four of you? Is it just the four of you in the band? Okay, awesome. How long have you guys been a band for?
A little over a year, I think, right?
No, it's been like probably
2.5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With this current lineup,
This current lineup.
yeah, only around a year.
Okay, so that's awesome. So even a year, a little over a year, that's amazing because your guys' sound is very dialed in for being that new of a project. Also, hi puppies. Who are these guys?
Brutus is with Wyatt, and then this one's Hank.
Oh, I love them. I love they made an appearance.
Yeah.
So
From them.
Okay, so you guys said a little bit over a year. How did you guys all meet up?
So me and Harrison have been in the band pretty much since the beginning. We're like two of the original members.
Okay.
And then George, we put out like applications, and he sent us a video, and yeah, like right off the bat, we were just like, yeah, he's the one. If you ever look at any live footage, George like star of the show, and he's doing spin kicks on stage and everything, like definitely performance art. Yeah.
Oh, dude, look at how, like, he seems so introverted, and you're like out there fucking doing spin kicks and shit. Like, what? Okay.
Yeah, different on stage. I think like I'm trying to bring back like all the early 2000s bands. Like they had so much energy. I'm trying to bring like all the energy back because I feel like right now that's the best way to stand out as a band.
Yeah, absolutely. Hell yeah. Okay. So you said he's doing the stunts and stuff live, so that means you guys are playing live shows already, right?
Absolutely, yeah. We actually have one next month, June 8th. We're playing with Lost Trees, Royal Hearts, and Northwood. Lost Trees, they just played, if you guys know, a show with Scary Kids Scaring Kids, actually.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Here, so hoping to do some stuff with that. And we played Punk Nights a lot. And actually, next week, the singer for Silverstein, I'm actually going to go up and do a song with him at Punk Nights. The vocals will be there. So we're at the show. Yeah.
Wow. Good for you guys. I mean, you guys, you look younger. I don't. Is it appropriate? Can I ask your age? How old are you guys?
So I'm 19. You're 21.
18.
19.
Oh my god. I love you guys. I love you guys. I can't wait. Okay, I'm so excited because I love that you're getting into music so seriously right now at your age. And if I could go back in time and be your age again and take it as seriously as you guys are, I would do it in a heartbeat. So I'm so excited to see your guys' journey. And the thing with Silverstein, that's huge. And I love your guys' sound. I think it's great. Do you guys send her stuff for mixing and mastering? Do you guys record in a studio, or is that something you guys kind of tackle on your own?
Everything that we've put out so far, I record, mix, and master all in my bedroom.
Wow, really?
And then the recordings that we have now are all like me on the recordings, and then we just all play together live. But we write here, but then I go into I do all of the recording and mixing and mastering all myself.
Wow, that's really awesome. Good for you. That's a lot to take on. So yeah, that's a lot of work. So that's incredible. Well, I'm totally into it, and I definitely will check out more of your stuff. Do you guys have albums out yet? How much music do you have?
So we have three singles, and then we just put out the EP a couple months ago that has 2 other songs on it. And we're working on the album right now. We're hoping to have the album out by the end of this year. Hopefully within like the next 4 to 5 months, the album should be out. But we are working on it now.
That's a lot of music for only being a band a little bit over a year and a half. You guys are cooking, so that's awesome. Well, I will pass it off to somebody else. I'm really excited to follow your guys' journey, and thanks so much for showing us your track. I'm really impressed with what you guys have come out with, and it's super nostalgic for me and took me back to a lot of places, so really cool. All right. Yeah.
Go ahead, Bo.
Okay, guys, welcome to the show. You don't know me. I play in a mostly metalcore-ish band. It's all pretty much throwback to early 2000s when I used to do it too. So obviously, I'm a fan. Now, it was a great song, killer song. Sounds fantastic, especially for what you're doing by yourself. I mean, the production level is killer. I did kind of like check you guys out briefly on like Instagram just to look. You got the vibe. I believe the guitar player is like using an Eclipse, like an ESP Eclipse. Is that?
Yeah. Well, we both play guitar, so I do.
Okay. So why you use? So you're even giving it the classic metalcore ESP Eclipse guitar. That's one of the things I love. Gotta love it. It's just essential, I think, to the look for that, right?
Single cutaways for the win.
Yeah, 100%. So like, how did you get into the music itself? Like, where did you hear, the band that got you like interested in that music?
I think it really all started, I think around like 12 or 13, the first metal song I had ever heard and like got me hooked was Tears Don't Fall. And then like from there, it was just like a slow journey into just, just the internet, just getting into the, niche, older MySpace kind of like vibe of everything. But,
it kind of makes me happy to hear you say MySpace. That's for the old guy. For the old guys in the room.
Yeah, for a second, I was kind of like, since they're so young, I was rooting for his backstory to be like, yeah, my grandfather or my grandmother was jamming out to some like old school classic metalcore or some shit. Because I mean, us older guys are starting to get to that age where the classics are gonna be these MySpace metalcore songs pretty soon.
Yeah. Well, technically, some of the like, I mean, it probably, like, I've got an Eclipse that's about 20 years old. So I mean, if it's 20 years old, it's an vintage at that point, right?
That's
So
true. Yeah.
I mean, that's really tough to come to terms with, I guess. But no, it's funny because you're too young to understand the impact that MySpace had on that scene. Like, MySpace was the scene back then. Like, that was how you found everything for that genre, especially. So it's funny to hear you say it. So I like that. So what kind of tuning are we using for the guitars?
We play in drop C.
Drop C. I like it. I like it. So you're doing it all, like, as far as like the tracking and stuff, like you're doing all at your house in your bedroom. What kind of plugins are you using for guitar?
Of course, you already know Gojira. Gotta go with it.
Yeah, I knew it.
We're all three of them tonight, boys. All right, I like it. That's awesome. You do it. So are you programming drums and everything too, or how are we doing that?
Yeah, so the drums are all programmed.
Okay. You just tapping it in, or?
Yep.
Nice.
So we write everything together and then go back and get it all on the computer, pretty much.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, the vocals are dead on. Like, vocals are killer for that style, especially. But just in general, I think the vocals are just really strong. The riffs are strong. You did some nice groovy breakdown instead of just chugging on open. I appreciate that a lot. I appreciate that a lot. The riffing, the groovy breakdowns, the choruses. I think one of the biggest things for that style of music is have like choruses that are like infectious, and you hit that hard. So kudos to that, because like everything about the core, like the vocals are strong, the riffs are strong, the production is great on the song. Like the chorus, the whole song is great. The chorus stands out really hard. So I just wanted to say kudos on that. And I like it. If you guys are ever, playing shows and you get up into Indiana, you need to let us know, and we'll help you get set up with a show with me. But yeah, dude, I love it. Keep on doing it. Keep on doing it, because the scene for this kind of music is crazy right now. Everybody's like falling back in love with it. Everybody's jumping into it. So
Yeah. If I have to see another post on like Facebook or Instagram of the Enter Shikari song again, like it just came out yesterday, I'm a puke. Yeah, exactly. The clap.
So that's all I got. I love it. You guys are young, and you're doing awesome things at the age that you are. Just keep on practicing, keep on playing, and I mean, you're only going to get better from here. So I'm going to hand it over to Forge. Really awesome meeting you kids, and I'll be watching you online.
Yeah. Hell yeah. All right. So serious talk. Let me get straight up here.
Yeah, shut up, Bo. I got questions.
No. So every band tonight and on every night, really, we get some of the most talented musicians from all over the place, right? So don't get big heads, guys. But for your age, you guys are way ahead of the curve than most. I'm just gonna be honest with you guys. Your mix and master. I mean, Bo, honestly, when we were their age, I think you were probably recording like we had a mic hanging from the ceiling, and everyone was just surrounded by them.
Yeah. No, you do the little mini tape recorder.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you guys honestly have their production worthy tracks you're spitting out. You guys are clicking. Each one of you are talented, standalone, and then you put it all together, and it's a super polished sound. And again, it's a genre you technically didn't live through. You weren't there whenever this shit hit the scene. So you think but you have no fucking idea. No, I'm just messing. But no, you guys are nailing it, man. I do remember the last track you guys brought. Great track, loved it. I know I spoke highly of you guys then, but I don't know, this track, it showed me something that I didn't see the last time, and I still haven't put my finger on it, but you guys are in a very, very good spot. So whatever you're doing, keep doing it. and keep pushing, because I'm gonna tell you right now, and everybody on here can tell you, it sucks. It's hard. Just keep pushing. You guys have an advantage over a lot of us older people. You're way ahead of the curve. So let me ask you this: you guys are in Florida. How far are you from Atlanta? Hot Atlanta.
I think like
Probably 3 hours, right?
Okay.
no, like five.
Yeah.
Yeah, five.
Yeah, about 5.
So, if you guys are willing to travel, you guys need to find that second band I played tonight, the one that did a brief tour with August Burns Red. You need to reach out to those guys, because I think you guys on a bill with them would be it would be epic. Yeah, Sun Mancer, that would be epic. You guys need to reach out to them, tell them we sent you or whatever. See if you guys can go play a bill with them. That'd be epic. If you make a trip up there to Bowie, that'd be epic. Set too. Y'all would fit right in with Elijah.
I'm all the way from Indiana.
Yeah, so that's a hike.
Eventually.
Yeah, that's a hike.
Hopefully.
If it ever happens, we got places all over Indiana you can play.
Yeah, that scene's pretty hot right now, it seems.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So, down to business. So obviously you guys are gigging. Do you guys have merch available online for anyone to scoop up?
We do not yet, but if you follow us on Instagram, soon. We just got new t-shirts, we got new stickers, pins, everything. So soon we'll be able to do online orders, so just keep an eye out. But if you come to any of our shows, we do have merch.
Cool. And in case we don't get to see you guys before the end of the year again, so what's the rest of the year look like as far as track drops? You just got anything in the hopper?
So I'm working on one song right now, and then we have a couple not recorded, but that we're working on. I think before the album comes out, I think at the very least we'll have another single, possibly another EP before the album. But yeah, music soon for sure.
Hell yeah. Definitely keep in touch with us so we can get you guys back on. You definitely got some great tracks that you've been throwing out, so I definitely want to check those out. So let's see. We talked about most of the business stuff, I think, right? Let's see. I don't know. Did I miss anything, Bo, Scarlett, that I normally ask? My brain's all over the place with this YouTube shit.
I don't think so, but I mean, I totally agree with you on the fact that like I'm totally Paula Abduling these guys. Like I'm #1 hype man because I'm just that excited for you guys. So like to what Forge was saying, please just stick with it because his point was so valid that this shit can be so discouraging sometimes.
Yeah,
but
sure.
you guys are onto something really significant and really special here. So please just heed what we're saying, boys. Okay.
Yeah, that's my words of wisdom, young whippersnappers. Take it or leave it. Yeah. I'm not that old, guys. Give me a break. I'm just being stupid. Yeah, guys, you know, I mean, there's really not much more for me to say. You guys kind of hit it all. Your classic or traditional metalcore, whatever you want to call it, you're nailing it. And your execution's amazing. And just keep doing it. That's all I got to say. And is there anything else that you guys wanted to say that I may have missed?
In a few months, if you're in Tampa, we're playing Battle of the Bands, Ink the Bay. Come out, support us. Its category is fan support. So if anyone listening's from Tampa, when we're there, come out and support us. Yeah, I think that's everything.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm so glad you said that because it reminded me of something that I'm gonna bring up for everybody. And I know the host kind of talked about it. Banger Wednesday, we are trying to figure out a way to do our own Battle of the Bands, obviously virtually. We're gonna try and get a lot of the Banger Wednesday alumni on. I gotta figure out what the prize is gonna be, and I gotta figure out the format. But for those of you listening at home and for the bands here, if you want to join in, just stay tuned. Once we get it figured out, we'll start plugging it in and setting it up. So stay tuned to that. We're also working on a few other giveaways towards the end of the year. Taking me a minute where I'm gonna be relocating where I am, so I'm about to take a few weeks off from the show. Get settled in, and we'll start finalizing a lot of that stuff. So stay tuned for that. Also, going back to Coraline's Collapse, their track is on the Banger Wednesday Spotify playlist along with the rest of the bands tonight. Make sure you find it, add it, save it, whatever button you got to press on Spotify. Just go do it. Listen to it in the car, listen to it while you're working out, listen to it while you're taking a dump. It plays all those places just the same. And again, I'm going to push it again really hard because this is episode 1 on YouTube. We need you to go down there, hit that little subscribe button, costs you nothing. It's going to give us some extra tools to promote the show, which in turn promotes all these bands. Again, if you're in chat, make sure you click on all the different people that are here in chat, follow the bands, follow the band members, and boom. You do all those things, you done made like 20 new friends, guys, like in 2 seconds. And then it'll just keep populating once you get the playlist moving. Again, the playlist has been one of the greatest things that have came out of the show besides the bands. It has helped a lot of bands beat the algorithm and has really helped them excel on their plays. So make sure you go at it. And let's see. All right, well, let me say this. Again, if you are just happening to catch us, we have Coraline's Collapse that we just finished talking to at Wyatt, Anthony, Harrison, and George. Brought another track that was a banger, along with all the rest of the tracks tonight. It was a great show. Great first show on YouTube. We had a few hiccups, but we made it. So quick recap, we had Psychotic, Ghidorah, Walls of Asgard, and Coraline's Collapse tonight. All right. Bo, Scarlett, I was just like kind of going on a little rap battle there. Do you guys have any input before I keep rolling? No? Nope.
Thank you guys for coming out. It was
Yeah.
awesome.
Thank you guys.
Yep.
That's all I got.
Yeah, and as always, you know, we never pre-screen the tracks, so all these tracks were our first listens tonight. And pleasantly surprised that every band was an awesome band bringing a banging track, and they forever live on the Banger Wednesday Spotify playlist. Got it in there one more time. Yep. Playlist. Hope that effect worked. All right. So with that said, again, we may have a host hangout maybe later on this month. I haven't figured that out yet. Like I said, I got to relocate where I'm at. If we squeeze it in, stay tuned for that. If not, we'll see you guys in a few weeks. We'll get the show back up and running. Stay tuned for Battle of the Bands when we get that figured out and some of the other giveaways. As always, this is how we're going to wrap up the show. I'm going to kick you guys to the outro room, and we're going to check out one more track off the Banger Wednesday Spotify playlist. You know, as always, stay safe, keep banging your heads, and we'll see you on a Wednesday coming soon. So hang on to your butts. I'm throwing you to the outro room, and I'm going to get a song up here. If this stupid thing didn't close on me again, which it did, bear with me, guys. Enjoy the smoky screen that I'm sure you're staring at right now. I worked really hard on that screen, by the way. So please enjoy it. 1 second, guys. Oh, and I guess I can say this while I get it up and running. Another little sneak peek. If you guys are familiar with internet content creators, we do have Josh Rez lined up to hop on a future episode. He's going to co-host with us one night. Surprise host, by the way. So if you want to catch Josh Rez on the show, be sure to stay tuned. All right. I got the Banger Wednesday Spotify playlist up. We are going to play a track, and again, we'll see you on a Wednesday soon. Here we go. Who we're going to play tonight? Let's play my friends from Wolves of Oz. Here we go. See you guys.
Self-reflection, not the mirror on the wall. Imperfections, overanalyze. destructive deception, deadly conversations. Yeah, in my head, I wind up dead, but that's not my intention. You won't like what you find deep in the dark depths of my mind. The walls are closing in, I feel this is the end. We'll make it out alive. You should hear the things I say to myself. I wouldn't tell my enemy. I wouldn't tell my enemy. You should hear the things I say to myself. I'm my own worst enemy. I'm my own worst enemy. Self-inflicted perception, sinking deeper in my mind. Like touch in my very eye. I'll make it out alive. First in line to hate my rhymes, I don't know why I waste my time. I can't find happiness, I've tried. Maybe I'm blind. I should throw it all away and find another field of growing. I should give up on my dreams, see my hope for being broke. Stop believing in myself, I'm not a diamond in the rough. Disappear to my doubts, cause I'll never be enough. Every time I feel this way, I feel the weight of feeling wrong. Try to be myself today, but it won't stay that way for long. Introspective imperfections, yeah, I see them all. Try to sing the pain away, but I just sing the same old song. Yeah. You should hear the things I say to myself. I wouldn't tell my enemy. I wouldn't tell my enemy. You should hear the things I say to myself. I'm my own worst enemy. I'm my own worst enemy.